Hi and welcome to Raven Rebels tutorial on how to develop stuff on Ravencoin blockchain using Node.js and JavaScript. And why do you want to do that? Well, we assume that you are familiar with Ravencoin since you are here. Ravencoin is a 3-year-old cryptocurrency. It was released 2018, and there's been lots of hype around Ravencoin, and that is because Ravencoin is a fork of Bitcoin. Some people call it Bitcoin 3.0, and why is that? Well, it's because on Ravencoin you can send Raven to people, just like you can send Bitcoin to people on Bitcoin network, but on what differentiates Ravencoin from Bitcoin is that you can create your own assets, your own tokens or coins or whatever you want to call them. So using Ravencoin on top of the Ravencoin blockchain, you can create your own token, a beer token or whatever you want token. And you can start building stuff on top of that. And in this little tutorial, we will show you how dead simple, easy it is to communicate with your wallet using JavaScript and Node. So if you haven't already checked out Ravencoin's official site, ravencoin.org, please do. That's where you find the wallet, and you should download a wallet that's if you want to develop stuff on Ravencoin, you should download the full wallet, a full node for your OS. In my case, I'm on Windows, so I have already installed a wallet by clicking on this link. It leads me to GitHub because Ravencoin is open source, and I have installed a Windows version of the Ravencoin wallet. The cool thing about this is that once you have this is the wallet. You can see that I have 200 Ravens, not much. I have a token called Beer token, and I have a token called Radical token. When you have this, if you have, you need 500 Ravens, you can just on the left menu click on Create Asset, and here you can create your own asset if you want. For example, let's see if Elvis, if you want to create an Elvis token, Elvis assets, let's see if that is available. Yep, Elvis is available. So anyone who wants an Elvis token, just go ahead, create the Elvis token. Why not? And I have already created the beer token. So I have a wallet and I have 100 beer tokens. That's nice. And when you send on a blockchain, when you send something to someone, currencies to someone, coins to someone, you send to an address and you receive by an address. But when you are in the wallet, you don't really talk about addresses. So I can't see which address received my 100 beer tokens. Of course, I can check my transactions and I can see that I did actually receive my 100 beer tokens on this address. But what you have in the wallet is the ability to you can click on help and debug window, and then you get access to the console, which is a command line interface where you can do lots of stuff with your wallet, because your wallet is a super server that knows everything about the blockchain. And if you type in, as I did now, if you type in help, it will list all the available commands or procedures that you can do. So for example, from here I can say list addresses by asset, and we say beer token, the one I have. And we can say that there are now two addresses on the Ravencoin blockchains that contains or has beer tokens. And to be able to do all those fancy things, what you first should do when you download your wallet, it takes hours, by the way, to download, not to download the wallet, but to sync the blockchain, hours. And after that, you have to go into into options and reconfigure your wallet. It's in the configuration file. You want to say that you want to run it as a server. You want to say that it should index transactions, addresses and assets, because you want as much information as possible about the blockchain. So there are tons of different configurations you can do, but this is a nice template. And what we're going to do in this little tutorial is to have a JavaScript, a Node.js JavaScript program that communicates with the wallet and asks the wallet the thing we just did. It will ask the wallet which addresses has a bear token. And all the code for whatever we're going to do today is available on Raven Rebel's GitHub. So you can just click from, I will also post the link on YouTube. But you can just click the GitHub link, you go to Ravencoin by example, example 1, and we have a nice instruction here, the kind of settings you should have and how to run the example. But since we have already done all the configuration, we can call different procedures or functions. We can invoke functions directly here in the debug window, which is nice. Okay, so now we have seen, we know the wallet. We know that the wallet has this console with a command line interface where we can do lots of stuff. So for example, if I have a transaction here, I can say that, okay, I received 100 bear tokens. And I can double click here and I can see information about this transaction. I can also see that I get the transaction ID. For example, I can then in the command line interface type get transaction, and I will not do it like that because that's not the syntax. I should send no, is not the get transaction? Okay, sorry, to get transaction lowercase, of course. And then we get information about this transaction. So we can say that it has 1,387 confirmations, that this address received 100 bear tokens. And this is nice, but you will get crazy if you were sitting in this command line interface all day. And so you as a developer, you want to do stuff and use the power of this command line interface, the power of all those functions that lets you get stuff from the blockchain. So we have, if we go to GitHub, in this repo, under Raven Rebels, you can clone the repository called Ravencoin by examples. I have already done that, of course I have. And I go to, in my case, I have it right here. And let's see what we have. Okay, so we have example 1. It's a tiny little thing. And let's start Visual Studio Code and have a look at what we're going to do. So, okay, so on one hand we have the Ravencoin wallet running on my machine. It's running in server mode, and I have configured a username and password for RPC. It should be super secret. In my case, this is a shitty wallet with nothing in it, so I can show you my little passwords for a real life scenario. You of course have a very, very secret username and password. In my case, it's very simple. So this information, the username and the password that we have configured here for the wallet, we need that when we from the outside communicate with it. So for Node and JavaScript to be able to talk to this wallet, we need the username and password, of course. And in this little example, what we have done is just create a just JSON file where we put the username, password, and we also put the asset, the name of our beer token. And we have one tiny little file. And what does it do? Well, it starts with getting configuration to get config. What does it do? Well, it just looks for an argument config file. So we should give them the argument with the location of our config file. It parses the JSON file. So then we have the config. The next thing we do on line 6 is we call our function RPC. And we start with the name of the function or the procedure we want to call. And the second argument is the parameters. In our case, it's just the asset name. We will just send it beer token. And we just print this stuff out as a table. So let's run this example. And so we do node. First of all, what you have to do is, as always, you do npm install because we are using the library Axios for to be able to post our requests to the server. So that's done, and then we do node index config file equals let's see, C, and then we have Raven Rebels Ravencoin by example 01 example again config.json. Okay, so now we know we run the program, and we can run it again. Okay, so we run the program and it displays a table with all the addresses that contains our beer token. It's not useful at all, but it gives you like it shows that it's like once you set this up, once you have the Ravencoin wallet and you configure it to run as a server and you configure it to start indexing transactions, addresses, assets, you want as much information as possible. It's dead simple. It's like just send your post requests with the correct data. I mean, most of the time it's like, okay, which function should I use, or what kind of parameters does this function need, or some arguments. But it's very, very simple to get everything. So now we can see that we have the same information here after we run our Node script that we got when we in the command line interface did the same, run the same command. So let's see. Okay, so as we talked about earlier, that the wallet will show how much assets you have. In our case, we have 100 beer tokens. And by using the list addresses by asset, we can see which addresses has received those tokens. And just to be, and we can create, for example, in the wallet, we can now create, so we can say receive, we can create a new receiving address and we can call it whatever we want. So let's say we have user 1. Now we have user 1, and user 1 has got a new address. And that means that from this command line interface, we can now say, okay, transfer transfer asset. Let's transfer from address it is. And then we should say, what do we want to transfer? It's the beer token. And we want to transfer from this little guy. This is the address that contains our 100 beer token. And we say that we want to send whatever. We can send 9 beer tokens to this new address that we created. And of course, immediately our wallet tells us that there's an incoming transaction on its way. That's nice. So what does that mean? That means that, okay, so we have 9 bear tokens going out and 9 bear tokens coming in. We can click on this. Transaction, and we can see the transaction ID. And from the command line, we can now, for example, get information. So we can say, okay, get transaction, and we give it as an argument the transaction ID, and we now see a ton of information regarding this ongoing transaction. It has 0 confirmations, so no one has confirmed this transaction yet. And it's not on the blockchain because it's still pending. And and we can run this again to see that, okay, still 0 confirmations. That's nice. If we wait maybe half a minute or so, we will see that things happen. What we also can do is, while we wait for this one, we can go to the go back to the web browser, and we can. It's highly recommended that you check out the raven.org site if you haven't done that. You should definitely check out Project Raven on Twitter. They have lots of good information for you. The funny thing was that today, at least here in Sweden, it's the 4th of January. And yesterday, the 3rd of January, was the birthday of Ravencoin. That was 2018, 3rd of January 2018. Ravencoin was released to the public. And one very nice thing about Ravencoin is that it had a fair launch. That is, there wasn't a bunch of guys sitting there with a bunch of tokens already when this was released to the public. On the other hand, everyone has had an equal opportunity to mine and create Raven coins, and I like that a lot. So no developer or founder was sitting on coins before. It's completely community driven. We like that. Everything is available on GitHub. You can download everything. So check up on this one. Let's go back to the wallet and see what has happened. Ooh, assets received. Let's run the get transaction command again. It's so fun to see how many confirmations we have. Ooh, 1 confirmation. It's still not ready. You can see that with the symbol here. Perhaps the blockchain is under a heavy load. So we can keep track on this. Okay, but since we are waiting, whatever we can do, what can we do then? Well, we can go back to our little we can now go back to our little program, and now we can see that in our Node JavaScript program, which was communicating with the wallet, could now see that, okay, nice. Now there are 3 addresses that has the beer token. And you can start doing really cool stuff especially when you have named receiving addresses. Because then you can say you can start sending or transferring assets between different addresses that for you mean something, because you will of course like connect a unique address to a unique user. And this is really good, for example, when you build stuff that where it's not always the case that the end user has the assets in his or her wallet. It might be that you do a managed systems where if you have a bar and you say sell beer token, people can buy beer tokens from you digitally. That you can have happy hour whenever you want, and you can receive money online. They can buy the beer token from you, and you can set up, as you can see here, it's easy for you. Just download the Ravencoin wallet. If you have some skills in JavaScript and Node, you can start communicating with the wallet, and you can create your own little system that manages your tokens. Then if you want to, of course, you can transfer the asset to a customer's Ravencoin wallet if they have a Ravencoin wallet, but not everyone has that. Okay, so in this little video, we have looked at how you can communicate with Ravencoin using JavaScript and Node. We looked at the command line interface, and we've seen that you can do lots of cool stuff here. And so that's about it. Thanks for this. And if you like this, please leave a comment. If you want to see more stuff like this, please leave a comment down below, a like and subscribe. We intend to release lots of small tiny tutorials that will help you, guide you in the right direction and spread the word. And we are like on a mission. We want to increase the adoption and use of Ravencoin. So everyone who is interested in helping us out, just give us a call, leave that comment, whatever you want. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.